And we're back with another episode of the On the Move podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and today we have a very special guest, as you can see, the one and only Phil Edmonds.
Thank you.
AKA the Canadian guy.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I'm honored that you're here. You're someone that I really look up to when it comes to both personal development and photography and videography and such. So I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
You're my first guest
yes,
on this podcast.
I know.
What feels really, really weird is saying my podcast. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't feel like my podcast. It doesn't feel like, it feels like we're doing a skit right now. Like we're two kids doing something that we're not usually doing.
Well, I'm glad you pointed out because that's exactly it. I was going to say earlier when we're setting this up, it feels really weird to be on this side of a camera.
Yeah.
For once. So used to being behind it. And when you're behind it, there's a bit of pressure in terms of like the work because people expect like you to deliver on your work, but you're also confident about it and your abilities. And you also trust that at the end of the day, when everyone sees your work then published, they don't know who that person is.
Exactly.
And now you're in front of this camera and you're kind of like looking at it and you go, damn, everyone sees who you are and stuff. There's a different kind of
so strange
element there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just a few episodes in with this podcast, and I'm only just getting to feel pretty comfortable on this side of the camera. But that's when I'm completely in my own bubble, away from people and such. But now when we're here together, it feels like completely different.
Yeah.
But it feels more fun also.
Yeah.
Because I love spending time with you. So
yeah. And you already know the discussion's going to be good too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. What are we going to talk about today? And we don't know. We have nothing planned about what to talk about. But I feel very secure in the fact that we will find out. Because whenever we're together, we always find something to talk about.
Yeah.
So sometimes even too much. Not.
And then you get distracted.
Exactly.
And you're just rambling on about something else.
Yeah. Now we're going to work with this. But let's talk about this first. And then we're like, completely gone from what we were supposed to do. But it's still usually when we have our conversation, it's still very, how do you say it? We usually gain clarity from our conversations. We usually grow. Like usually, we make jokes, but we don't talk about nonsense. In our point of view, of course. But it feels like the conversations that we have are very valuable.
Yeah,
I think. But the people watching right now, they are probably maybe my mom, my wife, maybe my dad, and a few relatives and a few close friends. So they obviously know what I'm doing and where I come from. But do you want to tell us a little bit more about you?
Yeah. So obviously, the journey is actually, my journey's been, for the most part, actually very similar to yours in terms of the timing of everything. I came to Sweden actually as a footballer and was playing for a club here and connected with a few of the members there and made some good friendships, one of which encouraged me to get into photography, saw the work I was doing for my own pleasure as a hobby, and then really pushed me to start a company and said, you really should be doing more work with this. And then that same character, shout out Mohammed Hamdan, was
such a legend.
Yeah, connecting with you and stuff here and there through his work and everything you're doing at El Giganten. And then the open guy he started to ask you, what are you doing? What are your interests? What do you want to do outside of this work? Do you have any passions, all this? And then you told him about your photography. He goes, oh yeah, I know a guy that's a photographer too. And put us into contact. And that I feel was very much the starting point kind of both our journeys. And the first time we went to shoot together, we didn't know what we were shooting. We just went out and walked around town. And and tried to capture anything we could. And since then, I feel like we've grown, and we were growing like fairly similar for a little while, and then branched apart and are now doing completely different things. And yet we still find time to reconnect and come back, which I very much appreciate. And no matter what the project is, if the style is different or if the project is different, we can still rely on each other to go a bit deeper into that. So along that journey, I discovered that a lot of my interest is more so in culture in terms of like urban settings. I really love cityscapes, street photography, and just capturing those raw moments that feel like you're seeing the protagonist, right? And at the end of the day, everyone is the protagonist of their own life. So when you capture those moments, those people don't know you're capturing that, but the essence is there and the story is there. So that's one aspect I really like is that cultural aspect in that urban setting, but also the cultural aspect in terms of other things that go on, like for me, automotive. I really love automotive work. And it's not just about the cars themselves, because those cars are art and have a lot of neat features when you're like breaking down the specs or how they're made or the ingenuity that goes behind them, but car culture as a whole and the emotion that these vehicles drive within us and stuff like that, and capturing, once again, those stories, whether it's on race day, whether it's a new build for cars, these kind of things, and filtering more into that kind of lifestyle setting as well.
Would you say you're more a photo guy or a video guy? Or a bit of both?
Yeah, so interesting enough is like I started with the photography, and then people would go, "Oh, great, you take photos. Can you make a video for me?" And I go, "Yeah, sure." Like people kind of confuse one and the same, and then the more that I'm learning, the more I'm realizing that even within those frameworks, like photography or videography, there's then more sub layers to it. So you're taking video. I'm going to start film school in October, which is a huge step because I used to hate school. Graduated high school, and all I wanted to do was be active, play football, travel, all these things. And I couldn't force myself to sit down in one spot, to be tied to one spot. So now I have a curriculum. I have to go. And going back to school for the first time in 7 or 8 years is daunting. And yet I'm learning before I'm even in there, from just doing like the stuff that they have us do before we go into class, that film production and video, you have like your director, you have your cinematographer or director of photography, and they're in charge of like how the vision is presented from the director and then executed, but they're not the ones filming it. Then you have like the cameraman, right? Is my understanding. I'll learn more afterwards. But then also when you're editing, it's not just one guy that does all of this. No, you have a video editor that does one thing. You have graphics and special animations. Then you have
one focus puller.
Then you have your sound design group. They focus solely on sound. Right. So as a freelancer, you're kind of tasked with doing everything. So you ask, "Oh, do you like photo or video?" And the more and more you get into it, the more I'm finding that I prefer photo to video. I like editing my photos. Videos, I don't necessarily like editing unless it's a creative project of mine, where I have
you're doing something
the control.
for yourself.
Or, and this is where I'm starting to shift from taking any client work to now I've made the conscious decision to finish the client work that I'm currently doing and then only take work that fulfills me. Because then, even though it's client work, those projects and the way the video will fit my timeline still feels like a creative process for me. That I want to have my touch on. Whereas when you're just doing, for example, I'd done real estate before. Now doing real estate work feels very flat, very boring. And I was doing it for the paycheck before, and now I'm like, well, I'm doing it for the paycheck and I don't even enjoy it at all whatsoever. And I have other projects I could be doing. So kind of refining that process and wanting to do more and more work within the niche that I enjoy, as opposed to just doing work for the sake of work.
Definitely. Yeah, I can feel myself in a lot of those things that you say. I started taking photos as well, but now I'm leaning more towards video. But you're literally a definition of someone who's really on the move. Like you're not only between Canada and Sweden, but you're traveling to a lot of places in the world and taking photos and videos for different companies, which is very impressive. But you're not someone who physically sits still, but not only physically, you're always growing and learning things, which is what I want to keep doing. And that's also why I'm so grateful to have you in my life, that it motivates people around you, if you're, or inspires people around you. If you're the one, if you're a person that's constantly on the move learning new things, other people around you will start to feel motivated to do it as well. And you have learned so much more of what you actually want to do or want to niche down on after trying all these different things. And it's the same thing with me. Just doing something. And as you said before, starting to do it for the paycheck is, I mean, it's very common to start off that way. And I think it's very important to just take what you can. And then that will lead you to understanding that part of the job or whatever you're interested in. And it will lead you another step down the path to knowing what it is you actually want.
Yeah.
Because I've been a victim of being stuck because I don't know what I want to do or how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Tjena.
Hallå, hallå.
Hallå, hallå.
Guest feature.
Ja.
Jag sitter ner har du på.
Jajamän. Vi sitter och spelar in en video om det är okej.
Ja.
Ja. Just.
Du kan säga till honom, man kan lägga nyckeln bak stenarna där sen.
Okej.
För jag är inte här då.
All right.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Guest feature.
Guest feature.
Shout out Bertil.
Shout out Bertil. So we had a man come up and talk with us here, hosting the place. Anyway, as I was saying, like trying, I've heard so much that you need a strong why, and everything will just figure itself out. And I was so stuck in trying to understand why I wanted to do something. I told myself that I wanted to be a creative person within photography and videography, but I didn't know, like, in my essence, why I should do it. I just knew that it was fun, but it didn't feel strong enough because I didn't put all my days of the week into it, which meant that in my head, maybe it's not fun enough for me to actually do it. Maybe I'm not cut out for this, or this is not my thing. So I started to tell myself that I don't want this enough, which means I should try and find something else. But that's not really what it is about. It's just about trying different things without putting too much value in it. And that will indeed take you down the path of actually knowing what it is you want and why especially you want it. Because you can, before you do something, you can have a why, you can guess, but you will not actually know the why until you've gotten there. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah, Bob was saying, I'm probably going to mention Bob a couple times. Bob
the goat.
Bob Proctor, if you don't know who I'm talking about when I mention Bob. So when Eric and I have said earlier that there's photography, but there's also personal development. That's a major focus of both of ours over the last year, especially. But Bob says, like, it's important to sit down and find your why and find your purpose in it. And then Dan Strutzel was asking him once, is it something that, like, you come up with, or is it kind of like found? Like, you create your why, your purpose or something, or is it something you come across? And he says, no, you have to come across it. You figure it out. You don't create it, right? You don't sit down one day and say, well, do you know what? I've decided this is my purpose. No, like, it kind of finds you. You have to be open to reflecting on it and figuring that part out.
Yeah, definitely.
And his is one of service. And I think that's actually discussing more and more that it's, I mean, maybe it changes over time because we're constantly changing. However, I do feel that more and more with the work that we're doing, the physical work of like photography, videography, I want to be providing a service, and that service is like selling that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So it's painting a picture, it's telling a story, right? It's like the end of a movie when it grabs you, like the gravity of what's just happened, and you're left in shock or in tears or breathless or whatever. It's like that emotion. You didn't live that, but it sold you that emotion.
Yeah. And you walk out a different person.
Yeah, and it's kind of providing that through your work and your art.
Yeah.
I think that's more so for me where I want to be going with that.
That sounds amazing. I mean, yeah, you can. I'm so amazed how a team of people can create such work to enhance different emotions in a human being. Like me at the movies, I'm shook every time I start crying. I'm like, holy shit, they added this picture with this type of sound, with this type of light, with this type of words, and now I'm crying.
Yep.
It's just, it's art.
Sometimes my dad has to remind my mom to breathe.
Really?
Because something goes on and she'll be like,
yeah.
Like if someone jumps underwater and they're holding their breath underwater, my mom starts holding her breath as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She gets so like drawn into movies nowadays, like with all the techniques that they're doing and everything that they've elevated in the art form to produce those moments that really grab you.
Yeah.
She gets so sucked into the movies, and my dad goes, "Hey, breathe. It's okay. You're fine."
But that's what I love about it. You can really drag into the reality of what the creators wanted you to feel.
Definitely.
Have you been to a 4D movie?
No.
Or a 4D cinema?
No.
Me and Selma, we visited a 4D cinema in Malmö like a year ago or something. And it was crazy. The chairs were moving. Like, I think we watched the new Bad Boys movie.
Okay.
And the first scene is where they come in really quick with a car and they drift around the corner.
Yeah.
And then all of the seats were like, just started sliding to the side and then all the way back. And there were fire, like, and a car was exploding, and you felt all this heat coming to your face.
It's actually crazy.
And water was spraying everywhere. And once they were in the water, and there were a crocodile coming up to someone, and then you feel something tingling behind your feet, like down below. And that was pretty cool.
Really
using all your senses.
That's nuts.
Definitely. Video and photo.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, definitely. So where do you know more so now that you've tried different things? Do you know more so where you want to be going?
Yeah.
In terms of your direction and how you want to do your work. Is it service? Is it like you want to help people? Is it brand work, recognition, emotions? What do you want to play off of more so?
I've realized more and more that I love helping people, and I'm not sure why. I haven't come to any conclusion there yet, but I just know that when I'm at Eleganten and I do my mentorship for new employees and help them grow into a new role in their career, it's so much fun. It's always fun. I've done it so many times now, and every time it's just so much fun. And whenever I have a customer, just the last few days, there have been a lot of customers that have just been asking questions and not actually buying a lot of things. Maybe that says something about my salesman skills. I don't know. But anyway, we've just had like really good times. Like the interaction has been amazing, and you can see in someone's eyes where they look at you and just say, "Thank you so much. We really needed this." And it could be a super small thing, like barely costs anything, or it can be something that really makes a difference in their daily, use of their appliances at home. And just the feeling of both being so happy that we solved a problem that was, everything is relative, but to them was very important. Just feels good. And I want to do more of that. So I want to see my photos and primarily my videos bring value to companies that I work for. And I want to see it being used correctly in a way that they can gain a lot from it, as much as possible. So that's my main focus going forward, focusing on marketing strategies. And also I would love to have a community where I can teach others to step out of their comfort zones and maybe sit in front of a camera if that's what they want to do. Because I know how much I've struggled just pushing myself. And when it comes to pushing yourself to do something, maybe that's necessary in the beginning for some, but that's not how you should live.
You can't force.
No.
Force
exactly.
negates.
No.
Force takes away from.
Exactly.
Yep.
So just coming to a point where you can do anything you want effortlessly and not tie your self-worth to any results. That would be the ultimate goal for anyone trying to create something that they haven't done before, I think. And helping people achieve that would be amazing.
I think something that came to mind as you're saying all this is that kind of taking an educator route, right? So you said, I love teaching, I love helping people. And something that you've mentioned now, not just recently, but over years, was saying, doing like something, speaking to camera, but educating people about photography or how to grow a business or whatever. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know if you've said that yet here, but is
I don't think so.
definitely something that I've heard you mention more recently.
Yeah.
Like a lot recently.
Yeah.
But also over the last 2 years, you have said that that's kind of the direction you want to go. And I do see very much like that, that way to like product descriptions or tutorials or techniques, basic functions, whatever it may be that you're educating people on. I definitely do see yourself in that kind of space. For me personally, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Okay.
I'd like to be like out experiencing events and stuff like that a lot more. But at the same time, I'm always on YouTube then watching those educators because I need to know how the functions work and how to go shoot something the appropriate way.
Exactly.
So everyone still needs it.
Yeah, that's true. It's always needed.
And it's the biggest help.
Yeah. Yeah, YouTube, that's good stuff. I wouldn't have survived without YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I don't know where it comes from, but it's something that I really want to do more of. Last week, I got like an epiphany of this that I just mentioned, that I want to help people and build a community of people that want to grow. Maybe I can have some online courses that people can watch or buy and learn from. But what happened last week was that I truly felt it in who I am or want to be. Before, it's been more like intellectual, on an intellectual level, saying to myself and saying to others that I want to do photo and video, and maybe I want to teach it as well. But now it's like, that's who I am. And I think part of that is it's been repeated to me so many times. So it's part of my programming now. I can't back out pretty much. But also that I've just been taking steps towards it this year like I've never done before. And that really makes me feel truly why I want to do it, because I can really feel it. Just talking about it, I want it. And I've never felt that way before. And I wouldn't have felt that way if I never took action to learning as much as I have this year. Yeah.
And another life personal development tip from the man Bob.
The man Bob.
The man Bob is the only prerequisite is, do you want it? So right now you're sitting here saying like, I just feel like I want it. Before you're saying in your head, You're repeating it to yourself, right? Auto-suggestion, essentially.
Yeah.
Which auto-suggestion or self-suggestion, right? You're saying, I want to do this, I want to do this. And now you feel it, right? That feeling is just the meaning that you can do it. As long as you feel like you want to, and you feel like you see it, then that means that you can and you have it in you to go and actually do that. So yeah, anytime you have that feeling, that's soul-seeking expansion. That's you wanting to grow. And so then you go, and then this year, on top of feeling that and having those realizations, you've gone and dove in so deep into it and doing the work to actually progress, right? And you say, now I want to learn more. It's exactly that feeling of wanting to do that, of wanting to become a photographer, videographer, isn't actually wanting to do photo and video by itself, but it's the understanding that you want to grow in that way and learn more and become better and become capable of doing all those things. The goal isn't forgetting. The goal is a byproduct.
Yeah, exactly.
What you get is your growth.
Yeah, that's something I really had to learn this year, and it helped me so much with my inner stress of trying to achieve something, because I always thought of the goal as a destination that must be, and if I can't have the goal, I can't have the feelings that's also attached to the goal. But
that's a lie.
It's a complete lie, and it's like, I mean, it comes from somewhere. It's something that I've learned, and I think a lot of people are taught that as well. Maybe in school or at home, that if you don't get on this level or this grade or succeed doing this thing, then it's not enough, or it's not good. Failure, yeah. But it all depends on perspective, and so which means that the goal in and of itself is not the goal. The goal is becoming the person that the goal belongs to. And so, which means that you can also feel all of those things that you think the goal will give you before you're even in goal. Which is, just the thought of that is amazing.
I was having a call last night with a mentor, life coach.
Nice.
And at one point he's asking, okay, so you're doing all this physical work, like you write down this statement every morning, you read it out, you send the photo to your accountability partner, and you're personally taking on new projects, and you're going to school, and you're doing all these things, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you achieve your goal, what does it give you?
Yeah.
And he's like, why are you doing it? What's your why? And I was like, oh, well, in one word, it's fulfillment, but that fulfillment comes from the challenges that you face and the fact that you want to grow, right? So when you look at it that way, you want to grow and you want to become more, right? Yes, you'll hit those goals, and then you'll feel good, but it's not feeling good because you hit the goals. It's the whole process of developing to become that person that feels good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, can you describe that feeling to me? I said, I don't have I feel it right now. As I was talking to him, I felt it in my stomach, and I was like, I know how it feels to achieve all this. I can't describe it to you. I can try, and I did, unsuccessfully.
Okay.
But then in the end, he goes, well, that's exactly it. And you know what? The funny thing is that those feelings are free. It's the only thing you don't have to work for. You can wake up every morning and feel that way. It might take practice. You don't just wake up in the morning and go, I want to feel happy, and then you're happy. No, it takes conscious work.
Yeah.
And we're not saying that your goals just happen either. Wallace D. Wattles would suggest that you need to do that mental, emotional, spiritual work, right? So feeling the goal, seeing the goal, knowing what it is, and then that draws it towards you. But it only come halfway. And then you have to go out and do the work, but never in opposition, never in resistance.
Exactly.
If you're forcing it, then you're in a state of competition.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're in a state of creation, then you're moving forward. It'll still be work, but there's no resistance. You're in harmony with the laws, with the world, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'll go halfway, right? But you can only go halfway, and it can only come halfway to you, which means you need to be doing both in order to achieve it.
Yeah.
And having those feelings is free. You can just put yourself in that state. feel that, see that, and then do that work every day. And then it's no longer a chore, right? I was actually talking to my friend Elijah in Toronto, and I was at his place, and I suddenly came to the realization that all my life I've been like, I want to retire at 35, or I want to retire at 40. I want to retire young and then be able to chill. And then as I was talking to him, I went, I'm never going to retire because I'll never have worked a day in my life.
Yeah.
I was pursuing football. I played football, and that was work.
Yeah.
But it was my passion. It was my joy, right? And then now I've discovered something that brings me more fulfillment, more joy. I did this one shoot in St. Moritz in February that you know all about. And I came back from that.
Dope photos, man.
Yeah, I promise you I slept maybe 6 hours over 3 days out in a car in the middle of the Swiss Alps. It was just nuts. I'd get back to the car like 2 a.m. And we'd park outside the city in some abandoned parking lot there. And I'd start editing photos and looking at stuff, and then sleep for like 2 hours, and then get up and go back into town and set up for the next day. And as sleep deprived as I was, I don't think I've ever had so much energy in my life. It just filled me with so much, life force. And once again, then I look at all the photography work and the traveling and the opportunities it brings, and the people I meet and how my life is developed right now. I wouldn't be here without the football because I met the people that pushed me to go into photography. Now I won't be in the situations I'm in now, living the life I'm living now, had I not jumped in and done that. But none of this feels like work. Some days it is tough. Some days it is a challenge to complete the tasks you have to complete. But overall, I will not have worked a day in my life. I'll have provided service. I'll have enjoyed my life, right? Bob says working is the worst way to make money. Right? You should work for fulfillment. You work for pleasure. You work for joy. You provide service to earn money. If you work just to work, then that's not life.
It's limited. No. Exactly.
And that's exactly where I'm at now, saying I don't want to just take on any clients anymore. It's finding those that are in line with what I want to be doing. So once again, it's not work. I'm providing service. I'm having fulfillment and joy and everything like that throughout this process.
Wise words from a wise man.
Bob Proctor, Wallace D. Waddles. Shout out the goats.
Shout out Philippe Edmonds. For sure. Something that my wife taught me is actually that you only have to do 2 things in life. One is die, probably, as of now. That's what we know. Maybe that will change, who knows. But the second thing is choose. You always have to make choices. And whether it's a conscious choice or unconscious, but it's choices. Those are the only 2 things that you have to do. And you making those choices have led you to understanding more of those things, which is amazing.
And if you omit choice and you delay choice, you're choosing not to choose.
Exactly.
And you're making your choice. If you're in a, easiest example that people can understand is if you're in a bad relationship and you don't want to make the hard choice to break up with them, well, you're choosing to stay, right? You're constantly choosing. Not everything in life is your fault, but everything in life is your responsibility.
True.
And your choice, how you'll deal with it, how you progress with it.
Word.
If there's a baby placed on your doorstep one morning, you wake up and it's there. Is it your fault that there's a baby there? No. Is it your choice and your responsibility what you do with that baby? Yes, you could step over it and walk out and forget it's there. You could pick it up and bring it to the orphanage. You could take it in and raise it as your own, but it's your choice and your responsibility from that moment forward.
100%. Imagine how many people's lives would be different if they just every day woke up and reminded themselves that they had the power to do anything. Literally anything.
And to choose to wake up and say, today's a good day. It's your choice, boom. Negative things can happen to you. And
it's all about what's normalized for you in your life or in your head or in your heart. Because people have normalized having millions in the bank. That's super normal for some people. Some people think it's very normal to sleep on a bench on a street. And if you feel like you're stuck, it's only because you have normalized that too much. So making conscious choices of normalizing something else, reprogramming yourself, and constantly reminding yourself that it could be something different. It will make it a lot easier to make choices towards that, I think.
And for everyone has like different beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
So whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether none of it exists, and we're just here randomly, we just are what we are, and or it's a simulation.
Yeah.
Depends on your paradigm and what you believe.
Yeah.
An example though of that kind of like manifestation that you're saying, based off of your perception of reality and what is normal and stuff. My mom at one point in her life felt like she was not advancing the way she wanted to. She had a list of criteria that she wanted to be hitting. She had a list for what her partner should be like, the work she wanted to do, the place she wanted to live, etc.
Yeah.
And it was stagnant in those areas. So she just kept saying to herself, oh, I feel like I'm going nowhere. I feel like I'm going nowhere. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm stuck. I feel like I'm going nowhere. And she repeated that for months.
Yeah.
And then had an accident and then couldn't walk. And was physically going nowhere at that point. And then it hit her. She went, oh my goodness, like I did this to myself. Kind of realization. And then it was her responsibility how she dealt with it. And then now, thank God, she's healthy and everything's good.
Yeah.
But she came to the conclusion that she very physically manifests things into her reality if she continuously obsesses over a thought or puts that in her mind, right? It puts it into her vibrational reality and then into her third dimensional, for lack of a better term, reality. That's one that we experience.
Yeah, it's amazing what the mind can do, or how our energy can make us do certain things or put ourselves in certain situations that creates a new reality for us, depending on what we think.
Whether consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah, for sure. Something that really helped me last year, because I've had so many periods in my life where I've been really mean to myself and very tough on myself. But something that's really helped me is thinking, what would my 5-year-old self think of me now? I mean, super proud, obviously. Look at me like, oh, such a big guy. He has cameras, he has tech stuff, he has a phone. Wow. He has nice clothes. He has a gorgeous wife and all of these things. But my achievements, like all the victories that I've had, I mean, just getting up in the morning and being healthy is a big win. But I couldn't even see that in some parts of my life. So whether big or small, I think that could be a good tool for a lot of people. Just think about, what would your 5-year-old self think of you now? There would be so many wins every day. Even if you can't see them now, they are there. So yeah.
Definitely. I think it's more than what you just list on paper. It's like, as a 5-year-old kid, you don't understand it yet. And you're looking at things, you're like, I've got the camera, I've got the phone, I've got the clothes, the wife, whatever it is. And that's what's impressive to that kid.
Yeah.
But more so, the feeling I get is that kid impressed with, like, now you can understand the person you are and the person you become. And it's that level a bit deeper. It's not just what's seen, it's what's felt.
Exactly.
So you know the morals you have, you know the value you bring to your relationships, to your work, to your friends, whatever, family.
Yeah.
You know what you'll do in certain situations because you've done it in those situations. And your character is now built to stand up tall through those challenges.
Yeah.
And I think that's even bigger, is, once again, circling back to that, focusing on becoming that person, that character.
You mean like, how would that 5-year-old feel in my presence?
Essentially.
Yeah.
Because a 5-year-old, like, they don't know or aren't necessarily conscious of their feelings.
Yeah.
So what it feels like to be a great human being, you don't necessarily feel that at that age.
No,
but you do see a nice car on the street and you go, oh my gosh, like that kind of stuff. So when you get there and a 5-year-old's like, wow, he's got cool stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
But would that 5-year-old be comfortable around you, right? Do they feel safe? Do they know that I don't know why, but this person's a good person. You know when you're a kid when you feel safe. And you know when you feel threatened.
Yeah.
And I think that's an even bigger testament.
Definitely.
Being that person.
Definitely.
That safe space, that good human being at the end of the day.
Yeah. We are about to wrap this up, but first I would like to hear something that you have learned recently or ever that you feel is worth mentioning. It could be big or small. And the reason for this is I want to, talking about teaching again, but what's more important is actually learning. And I feel like if a lot of people in one community just share things that they learn, it's easier to learn things faster as a collective and highlight the moments where we grow and learn things to remind ourselves that we learn a lot of things along the way, even if we feel stuck or don't feel like we're learning anything. So do you have something that comes to your mind that you've learned recently or ever that you feel is worth mentioning?
Yep. It's kind of layered.
Okay.
And it's layered in the reasoning behind the fact that in the last 8 months, everything has changed for me in terms of my perspective of what I want to do, where I want to go, how I envision my future life, all these things. And so one part of that is understanding that change is inevitable and actually change should be embraced because it is the one constant. The only constant is change.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
And your approach to how you accept change is actually the part that I'd say I've learned. And it's understanding that it's not only okay, but it's important and more than accepted to change yourself and constantly grow and take different paths, even if you're to contradict yourself. And one passage that really instilled that in me and helped me get through all these challenges and these changes over the last few months is from the essay on self-reliance by Ralph Emerson Waldo, something like that.
Okay.
And it says, like, speak in harsh words what today thinks, and tomorrow speak again in harsh words what tomorrow thinks, even if you are to contradict yourself. It says, you're sure to be misunderstood, but every great mind that ever was misunderstood. He says, Jesus, Copernicus, Galileo, they're all misunderstood. To be great is to be misunderstood. And it kind of freed me to understand that things are changing, yes, all the time. But if today I said, I want to solve world hunger or whatever. So my personal example was in January, I was dead set on putting more effort than I've ever done into football.
Okay.
And progressing there. And then I went and I told all my friends and my family. Before I was like, yeah, like I want to be a pro. Like that would be cool.
Yeah.
And I did enough work to get ahead, but not enough to be that person and do those things.
Yeah.
So in January, I made the commitment saying I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And for 3 months, or well, even before then, but those 3 months in particular, I was working as efficiently and as properly as possible. And then something happened in my life. And then I went, do you know what? I'm changing. And I was like, it feels so stupid to say you don't want to do this anymore after finally committing to something as wholeheartedly as you can. Because you don't want to commit a lot, personally, and I've spoken to like my sister and a lot of other people, and they'll relate. You don't want to commit to things sometimes because you're scared that if you 100% did it and it didn't work out, failure. But failure is not final, and as long as you're progressing, you're succeeding.
Yeah.
Earl Nightingale would say that success is the progression towards a worthy ideal.
Yeah.
So then I felt really stupid saying, well, I've just told everyone this is what I'm doing, and then now I'm deciding to drop it. But it is understanding that change is inevitable. And that quote from the essay on self-reliance, on how to frame your mind towards that change and know that all you have is now, all you have is today. And if this is how you feel today, you have to act on that today. You have to speak in harsh words what today thinks, and tomorrow speak again in harsh words what tomorrow thinks, even if it contradicts itself.
It's a very good lesson.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of courage to make a change like that, especially when you've already put it out in the world. And
you spent 20 odd years, 25 years.
Yeah.
all I've known is one thing, and I decided all of a sudden, on the drop of a hat, that no, I no longer want to be away from family and friends to pursue this. I want to have more time for myself, more time for my family, more time for my friends. Start a completely different career path that I'd been dabbling with, but not necessarily putting my energy and focus into. Go into that, be closer to those that I love, have the time, like all these things, and realizing that the path I was on, I could do that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to provide necessarily everything that I want, and then just pivoting all of a sudden. Even if it's absolutely terrifying, and even if you question yourself, you just have to do what you feel in that moment is what you have to do. Yeah,
definitely. Wise words. I think that created a lot of sparks at a lot of people. I would like to mention one thing that I've learned recently that really blew my mind when I heard this the first time, and it's that the energy that you've had throughout your life is always the same as the one you have now. Which means that if we play with the thought that all we have is now, there's no such thing as past and the future, like no tangible thing, it's just an idea. What has happened, it's not happening now. What will come, but it's not happening now either. So all we have is now. And the past is memories. So it's an idea. And sometimes a memory can even change depending on how we see things in the now. And the same with the future. It also changes sometimes our way to see the future, which means that there's a reason the same thing can happen to two different people, but one sees it as a big trauma and the worst thing ever, and the other person sees it as a sign and to do something great and the best thing that ever happened to them. For example, a breakup or a car crash or something even more terrible even. But that depends on what state you're in now. So for me, that meant that all I have to do is make sure that I, in the now, am feeling good with myself. Because that dictates everything. I've had a lot of things happen in my past that I didn't like, and I almost felt like I needed to have a different past in order to achieve certain things in the future, which made me feel like I was powerless and not the right person to do certain things that I wanted to be doing or told myself that I wanted to do. But once you're in a really good emotional state and you're on a really high vibration and just feeling awesome, it's much easier for you to see that the past you've had actually took you to the place where you are right now. If you're feeling good in that moment, you will appreciate the past even more. And if you're in a really bad moment, you will not like the past, but because that brought you to that bad moment. So your emotional state right now dictates your whole life. That's what I've learned.
And you can control that emotional state.
Exactly. So, you have all the power.
There we go.
In the last episode, I asked you to anyone listening or watching this, in the last episode, I made a question, which was if you want, you could leave a comment on something that you've learned. And we actually got one comment from a friend of mine called Anton Frey. Anton Frey is a really good videographer. I mean, he's talented, and I've learned a lot of things from him, and he has been a big inspiration for me for a long time. So thank you for that, Anton. But his comment is this: I learned a few years ago that my physical health and mental health are very connected, not something I learned when I was younger. Yes, that is something that not everyone knows or understands, but once you start feeling the connection, it's impossible to forget. Yeah. It's definitely intertwined and connected.
100%.
Makes a big difference.
I think it's Earl Nightingale. That's the quote. It says, actions trigger feelings just as feelings trigger actions.
Wait, say that again.
Actions trigger feelings, just as feelings trigger actions.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, it might be something negative in your outside world, your outside reality happens to you, and it triggers a feeling of like, that sucks, right? And then that feeling of suckiness means the next morning you wake up and you're like, I don't have the energy. I feel bad. I don't want to do anything. So you don't do anything that day. Yeah. You procrastinate or you stay in bed, right? But just as that action that occurred to you happened and it triggered a feeling, your actions to get up, have a cold shower, reset your central nervous system, eat some good food, go to the gym. It might suck while you're doing it at first because you're out of alignment with the feeling that you woke up with, but then those actions will trigger new feelings and then you'll feel better.
Makes total sense.
Yep. Or you can wake up in the morning and do it the opposite way as well. Yeah. And prime your feelings first by reflecting on it to then drive your actions. But either way, you can flip one or the other to suit what you need in order to get back on track, get back on path and progress in the right way.
Mic drop.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, definitely. Lovely. Usually I start we're recording this on a Tuesday. I will release this on Friday before I release the episodes every Saturday, but I'll start doing it on Friday instead. So you can even listen Friday evenings, because I like the idea of having weekends more for what you actually love to do. Because sometimes you can feel restricted in what time you have for doing the things you actually love doing during the week, especially if you have a job that you don't like. And the weekend can be a period where you just relax by doing the things you love doing, or pursuing the things you want. So usually I start every episode with a deep breath.
Okay.
But now we can end it with a deep breath instead.
Okay.
So to anyone listening, we'll have a deep breath in 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we're set for the weekend.
Nice.
Thank you, Phil, the Canadian guy, the most amazing photographer
Thank you.
I've ever known. You are amazing. You're very open-minded, and you are such an inspiration to me and makes me want to do more of the things that I love doing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, bro.
This is growth.
This is growth. Yeah,
this
for sure.
Incredible experience.
Definitely.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for listening, and see you next week. Ciao. Thanks, bro. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.